Welcome to the second hour of Colorado. I have no idea what the name of the show is. Grassroots Radio Colorado. There you go. This is Chris Cook, your host. I am joined in studio by a whole bunch of people, so it got really crowded in here. I've got Stacy Petty as my co-host. Stacy, thank you so much for sitting in with me tonight. This is so fun. We have such a good time, and we have Corey and Andy Pate of the Party of Choice. Choice words that win. That's what we're looking at, right, Corey?
Yes, it is. So many times as conservatives, I think we feel like we're beating our head against a wall. At least that's what a lot of my friends say. You know, if you say anything conservative on Facebook, you get defriended. If you say something at work, suddenly you don't have as many friends at work.
Yes, it is so true.
We're actually creating a button just to defriend conservatives. It's a much quicker.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. Yeah.
On Facebook or just in general?
In general. You can even
Like
carry one around
button.
with you, and the conservative in front of you just vanishes from sight. They're working on it. The technology's lagging.
That's great. That's awesome. I suppose it probably sends us all to Somalia or something. Just Zoom. So what you guys focus on is messaging, how to reach across that divide, how to break down that wall and have a real conversation about some of these tough issues that we divide with the left on. Is that a pretty accurate way to describe everything?
Yes, because I think it's very important that we recognize that there really is a wall there. We aren't just imagining that we're beating our head against it. It really is there. And it's there for three big reasons. First of all, academia, schools everywhere. They are completely biased against anything conservative. I think we can all agree on that.
Absolutely.
Hollywood. Think about the last movie you went to. It was probably filled with very anti-conservative messaging. Even if it wasn't overt, it was probably still there. And then the last one that we see a lot of is the media.
Yeah.
Which we see all the time. And so when you have those three things working against you, that wall is there, whether we like it or not. And the biggest thing about that wall is that everybody thinks we're the bad guys. They just assume it.
Yeah, well, they've been told that since they were yay high.
Right.
Forever. The Republicans, want to push grandma off a cliff, and we're all racist, and all we care about is ourselves, and we're all selfish, and we hate women, and we love the rich.
Right.
And so, that's kind of where we end up, is we love the rich, hate the poor, we're awful, horrible human beings, and it's amazing that we don't have three heads, right?
Right. And if you're pro-business, oh my goodness, you better watch out.
Exactly. Because businesses, of course, are evil.
Well, yeah.
Oh, well, wait a second. Isn't that where we get our jobs? Yeah. See, this is why I have a problem, because I start turning into this sarcastic machine when I'm faced with some of this stuff. So, okay, so I express here, you guys had something that you wanted to go into. You wanted to talk about raising taxes on the wealthy.
Yeah.
Let's start with that one. And I should tell you listeners that Corey and Andy are going to be joining me hopefully on a regular basis. And I'm so pleased because, bottom line is Grassroots Radio is about solutions. That's what we are here for. We're about equipping you, the listener, to go out and have these conversations and be able to talk to people and understand how to approach that wall and break it down. So that's why we want to have you guys on as much as we can so that we can have those messages to be able to go out and reach people. So raising taxes on the wealthy. Set up the situation for me.
Go ahead. I'll do it.
Okay, Andy.
Okay. The biggest mistake on this issue, as with virtually all that conservatives make, and by the way, I'm not talking us down. I'm just an ex-leftist. Okay, I come from the other side. I know what they set up, and how it works.
Right.
And our biggest mistake is we don't assume the wall is there. We go in and reel off our stats. We think, well, we've got our statistics. They got theirs. People will listen to both sides, give it a fair hearing. That's not going to happen. Okay, people think you're the bad guy.
Right.
You must first take down the wall. You must first remove that. And here's the beauty. It doesn't take months. It takes seconds.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
And we'll talk about that tonight. Basically how to really quick get rid of the wall and get them to listen to you. But first, let's talk about why it's there.
Okay.
If we can do that first. How did the left wreck the wall on this? And the first one is, do you guys have any ideas? I mean, how did they get people to believe that we love the rich, hate the poor, and people can't trust us?
How did they do that?
Right. I mean, if you look at like Mitt Romney and Barack Obama have a debate, okay?
Right.
And Mitt Romney can say one comment, not even in the debate, on the 47%, and it destroys half his candidacy. Barack Obama can say a million things like spread the wealth around, and it doesn't matter. Why? Because people want us to. They want us to lose. We're the bad guy. When you think somebody wants to control you, tell you how to live your life, and that is what they think of us.
Right.
You want them to lose the debate.
Sure.
Right.
That makes sense.
And we have to approach it from that perspective and remove that first, and then they'll listen to us.
Right. Get them to not want us to lose the debate. Am I getting this right?
Yep.
Okay.
And you can do it. You absolutely can. That's the wall you've been running into. You don't have to.
Okay. So how did they set up that wall? I mean, one of the ways, the first way that comes to my mind is they set up sort of an us versus them dynamic. They set up the those rich people
Yep.
versus us middle class. And Barack Obama's huge skill was in making himself into one of quote unquote us, and making Mitt Romney one of them.
Right.
Is that fairly accurate?
And one reason it works really well is because look, everybody has one vote, and there are fewer rich than poor.
Yeah.
99%, 1%. So this is why they do it. It's not because Democrats care about the rich. Care about the poor. They don't. They know they're hooking them on programs. They do it because there's more of them.
Okay.
And it's more votes. It's the only reason they do it. Trust me.
Sure.
and they so what
You
they
have inside information.
I have insider information. I come from the evil land. Evil Land is a new amusement park that is being set up by my old side. It's right now called California. Republicans are perceived as the party of the wealthy, whereas Democrats are for the working class, like you said. It's extra easy to do, and here's why. Young people are poorer than older people, and young people already distrust the right. Right?
Right.
Yeah, they believe I said this last time, if you go to 1,000 young people and you ask them, which of the two major political parties wants to tell you, disapproves of you, and wants to tell you how to live your life, they're going to say Republicans.
Right.
Or libertarians. They're going to say our side overwhelmingly. And because of that, they distrust us. They think we want to control them. Now, young people are also poorer.
Right.
So already they're very predisposed to listening to anything the left has to say about how we're for the rich and we hate them.
Sure.
The wall is already there. Assume it's there. Then you can take it down.
Well, and the rich, to the young people, the rich represent their bosses who have authority over them, maybe disapproving grandparents, that kind of thing. So they've already got that. You're right. They have that distrust totally built in. So, I
would argue,
today.
here, because my kids are raised. I have adult children now. Even instilling in them what I did all these years, there's still gaps, and there's still things that they say that surprises me.
Like what?
My middle son, a few months back when there was the debate over income equality, when the McDonald's workers and all that was starting to come out, he had the mentality of, he's degreed, so he thinks that automatically he should be at a higher level, accelerated. I've done this. Why can't I have a better paying job? Why can't I? And I said, son, no, that's not how it works. You start here and you make your way. And it's always been like this. So why you feel entitled to be accelerated to this already at this point is unrealistic. That's too big of a subject that I wanted to jump into.
We're getting abstract.
Let me ask this: how did it work? How did it break through?
He's still working a job as a security officer and applying everywhere to try and utilize that criminology degree. But we're short on time, and I don't want to take this because I'm gonna end up taking this down a rabbit trail that's going to consume absolutely everything. So I'm not going to go there. But the youth I don't want to say they're already lost, but they're already set. Mm-hmm. It's reprogramming. Sometimes, a lot of the times, that doesn't happen unless you're experiencing life and you see it in front of you and you live it and you hurt from it. So once they have those moments where they're hurting from what they're surrounded by, that's when it starts kicking off in their heads saying, okay, I get it.
Right. Well, I think that Corey and Andy have a way to break down that programming and help reprogram, or at least open up that conversation. We'll set this up in a more concrete way when we come back.